All right, what's up? We're officially live. Office hours. How's it going? I'm doing good, doing great. So we have a very interesting topic that we wanted to discuss today. And as you see by the title of this topic, AI isn't the problem. Automation is coming for your job. And this is, coming from any job really, to be honest. If you really think about some of the pieces in which automation goes over, and you might think that AI is like the biggest issue, but in actuality, automation is way more powerful, way more powerful. And I'm kind of going to discuss why in this particular office hours. But as usual, ask your questions. You got anything questions in regards to software engineering? I'm here to discuss those, answer those questions. This is, like I said, once again, it's for y'all. This is just a stream that I typically do to babble about a particular topic, so I could just have just a topic to talk about. And this is a topic that that was like festering in my head for a while. So it seems like no one's on right now, so I'm about to get started on my rant real quick. Un Unframed rant. I'm gonna figure out a nice little framework or actually do some research in regards to this in some cases. All right. So I recently came in about this video that kind of explained what's the difference between artificial intelligence and machine learning. And for the longest, you know, I already had the idea that machine learning was just a subset of artificial intelligence. And the reason why I say that, and it's coming from a video that I watched recently. Let me see if I can break it down and recall some pieces of it. But for the most part, the piece was talking about machine learning is in regards to networks and nodes and training those networks and those models on data. Cool. And but you need some machine learning for artificial intelligence. So that's why it's a subset. But with artificial intelligence, the whole bigger picture behind it is that artificial intelligence is mainly for natural language processing and vision vision learning and audio learning and all this other stuff. So pretty much artificial intelligence is trying to match exactly what we do as humans, the complexity and all of those things, how we see certain lights and know the shades of this particular thing, know the depth, and know that we're not supposed to go over that particular corner because is a drop off at that cliff, because we know depth perception, we know distance, we do a lot of calculations in our brain, and artificial intelligence do that. And this is like where machine learning takes in that data and help with artificial intelligence to process that information. So you can't really have artificial intelligence without machine learning, but machine learning is part of artificial intelligence as a subset to process that information for the most part. But kind of going to automation, because for the longest, I thought AI was essentially automation, but I don't think it is really. It's probably just a subset once again. But if you really think about from the history of humans and what was getting done from like a historic standpoint, was that we automated tasks that didn't need human interaction too much. And this is kind of going back to the manufacturing period, when at first we had cars that were on a line and people were on this assembly line. They can output like roughly around 10 cars a day, which is with just humans, and they putting these cars out. It was like during Ford Motor times, and when they started developing the manufacturing assembly line, it pretty much revolutionary revolutionize how we build cars and produce cars um, for the future. So that piece of revolutionizing the automation, the assembly of the car, making it so simple that you can produce a car within a matter of like minutes rather than days, was a big part of getting rid of a lot of manufacturing jobs. And now we're to the days in which there's very minimal human reaction in regards to producing cars, but that's all through automation. It's not. It's like you can think about it in some sense. It is AI in a sense, like automation is a subset of AI. But if you really think about it, automation is very specific into solving a particular issue, like fitting the needs of that particular task. Focus on one task, not rather than a whole multitude of things. And I'm trying to think of any other like revolutionary tool or process in like the history of like human beings that made our life so much easier. And for the most part, tools, if you think about it, tools is a way how we automated certain things. Because instead of like using a particular rock, we realize, hey, we can get leverage with a particular stone, um, from wrapping rope around this particular stone and or putting a stick inside the stone and then like wrapping it with like some kind of thread to hold that stick and stone together and have more force, hitting that rock and stone combination together. In a sense that that's a piece of like easing the task of instead of holding your hand, extension of your hand and hitting the rock with your hand against the thing that you're trying to break. So that particular piece is like revolutionize like how we develop tools, and pretty much automation is like another piece of a tool that makes it where it's much easier, where we alleviate the effort in which we don't have to put too much effort into it. So now one of the biggest parts in the software community, and there's been a lot of big talks in regards to it, is that how AI is going to take over certain jobs. And I kind of like I have my own opinions on this, and it can go really deep into like why I think AI is not going to really be that automation piece. Like if you really want to get rid of like a certain job set, like software engineering, then you really have to automate that task out greatly. And now this is discuss the complexity of a software engineering job. So software engineering tells, you know, engineering, if we break it down, engineering. At first, we gather requirements, we gather specifications in order to build out an application. We design out this application before we actually build it because we want to have some kind of prototype, some particular design, so we know what is the vision of going to building that application. We build out that application. Then after that, we test that application, and then after that, push it and make it and maintain that particular application. So now there's definitely like little bits in there that could be automated, right? And for the most part, some of those pieces aren't really software engineer related. I mean, software engineers do look at requirements, but they look at requirements in regards to how they're going to be building out something. Yeah. And the automation pieces in there could be all right. Now, instead of, you know, automating out a software engineer, you can automate out a BA task job. So someone who gathers the requirements and be able to do the gap analysis and be able to ask those particular questions from a client standpoint and say, hey, this is Have you thought about this in regards to your application? Because this might be something that needs to be put through, and then that piece can like trickle down to the software engineer to build it out. But to the actual building piece, now this is where the complexity goes in. And the prototyping piece, I think that can be, I can be automated too. So you seen we've seen Dolly and we've seen all those image generator type things in regards to making certain assets, and you you do like a mock-up in some sense. Hey, can I make a Salesforce application with this particular layout and whatever? Can you do a mock-up to that? You can do that. Great. But then when it came down to, using it for myself and asking, ChatGPT in regards to some coding stuff, and they got, information from like 2021. So it's not too far off. It shouldn't be too far off on, retrieving that stuff. But what happens is there's so much complexity in regards to software, and if the particular AI model is receiving data that was not fully right. And I've seen this with a video that I did with Copilot, and pretty much it's like you just spitting data into this model. You're not telling it whether it's good, this is bad. You're just spilling out, hey, we're gonna get all the data as possible, as much as possible, because the data that we need is gonna make this model as efficient as possible to put out the information that they need. Forget about whether it's good, forget about it's bad. We're gonna put it in there. And that could be very destructive, right? So we've seen articles in regards to, you know, code not being secure, or retrieving other people's access codes and pieces because it was shared with the model. And it's like, is that something that's supposed to be here? Is this actually someone's, API key showing up on the GitHub Copilot, on the Chat GPT stuff? I don't think that's supposed to show, but it does. So, and this is going into that whole piece of, the data. The data is, super biased, and no one's, telling this AI model if this is good or bad, unless, we have a reinforcement system in there to say, hey, you're doing a great job there, son. Keep it up. Actually, no, son, that's bad. And does he actually get sad and like, yo, shoot, I thought I was doing a great job for it. You said I was doing a great job 3 times in a row, but actually, no, it wasn't good. It's like you missed out on something. Your information is outdated. And this kind of goes into why I don't even buy coding books anymore. Because I mean, if the AI model is using information that's all the way up to 2021, that's straight from the internet, then that information is outdated. It's like it's 2023 now. There's there was this one there's this one piece um that was coding up a YAML script in order to do some automation pieces whenever I do a pull request. And I don't know if that particular action was available, because it was like I was trying to search in the action marketplace for the GitHub, and it wasn't there. So it wouldn't run. It wouldn't run. I already knew it wasn't gonna run. If it wasn't there, then pretty much it either is removed in 2021 or a little bit after 2021. But that information is definitely not there. I checked multiple times. Found something different. I used that instead. But I mean, this is where it comes in. It's like you can still use it, but you got to know there's certain limitations in regards to it. And this is where I can say, it can, do a lot of the heavy lifting, like a nice little framework that you're trying to work around with. And then you can just fill in that framework from there. So, and that's why I think automate, like if some way you can automate out a software engineering job, then that's essentially it. That's this is essentially it of being a software engineer, and then everyone can literally do it. But I don't think that's coming anytime soon. That's too far in the future. Like, yeah, I don't even see that AI and the modeling and the people who are training the models. They they're not using right information, best practices, and you gotta look at it like, if someone actually build out something that is great, and this is probably something I might actually look into as well, is all right, let me try to build out an AI model and train it on the best practices of one language. So this is where automation is coming in, on it one language at a time. I'm not going to give it multiple languages. This AI model is only going to do JavaScript. This AI model is only going to do Apex, and it's going to know the heck out of the Apex, and it's going to get updated on the latest and the best practices of Apex, not just what other people say this is great. No, this is like, I'm going to do code scans and say, hey, this is great. This is great code. You need to use this code for your model to learn from it. And that's what I would do rather than give it a whole bunch of languages and confuse, because like if it's almost like what's called is the polygons, like people who have multiple languages. I kind of want to like speak to some of them. It's like, is it tough? Is it tough to maintain a certain language, especially if you're not using it often? Like, is it tough to maintain that language and be able to recall it when you need to speak with it if you're not using it on a daily basis? And this is kind of going to AI too. It's like, if AI doesn't really think that's important information, will it actually use that information if it's not being told to use that information on a daily basis? So yeah, that'd be a question to those people who speak multiple languages out there. So yeah, um, yeah, that's pretty much it right there. So the automation pieces is where I would look into finding an automation. Like I said, is hitting on a specific task only, not multiple tasks. Trying to figure out how to do everything. It's hitting on one specific task, and that's where AI will be successful. If like I say, automation is a subset of AI. It's like it's if we give it something that is specific, then it's going to do great. If you tell it to learn this only, it's only going to be learning and referencing the stuff that it should know only, not all this other stuff. That might be a future project of mine, just to really, because like me, I know I have to see like there's this machine learning stuff. So the machine learning pieces, like I said, is a subset of AI. Then the natural language processing, that's AI for sure. It's like pretty much trying to get really close to human language and tech like audio recognition and visual recognition, pretty much coming pretty close to being human like with AI. Yeah, so that'd definitely be a nice little project to go through. I think what let me see, Amazon machine Amazon Web Service. There's one thing that I was looking into. Amazon Web Service, machine learning. Yeah, it's called SageMaker, one of the Amazon services. And some of the features is enable more people to innovate with machine learning through a choice of tools, IDEs for data analysts and no-code interfaces for business analysts, access labels and processing large amount of data structures, tabular data and unstructured data, photo, video, geospatial, and audio for machine learning, reduce training time from hours to minutes with optimized infrastructures, boost teams' productivity up to 10 times with promise purpose built tools, automate and standardize OLOPs practices and governance across your organization, and so on and so on. So this is something I wanted to play around with if they have like a free tier. Let's see. I have to see if they actually have a free tier. Yeah, they do have a free tier. Show this real quick. I'm feeling the best today. All right, there it is. All right. So yeah, Studio Note, and you have S Studio, R Studio. You get a certain amount of hours, feature store, all that stuff. Training 50 hours. I'm an M4 large, extra large instance, M5 extra large instance. So those are like different process chipsets. Yeah. So this is something I was gonna play around with on the free tier. So free tier per month for the first 2 months. So whenever I serious about taking that offer, I'll probably do that. All right. Ooh, it's been I was about to say it's been a long week, but it hasn't been a long week really. It's just Monday. It's just Monday. One of the things I did recently was share a video on how to demo software work, and got a lot of great reception. Thank you guys for watching that video. If you got a chance to watch that video, and yeah, I got a lot of great reception on it, so I'm happy about that. And also got a chance to share it on LinkedIn. So like anytime I do like a professional video, I try to share it on LinkedIn just to get the I don't know, get my face out there, get my name out there, sort of kind of thing. Yeah, that's the whole point of creating this content this year is to network, collaborate, and network and collaborate. So all I'm really focusing on really. So yeah, it's been pretty great so far. There's still more networking collaboration because I'm trying to get out of my comfort zone of doing things by myself all the time. And I think one particular splash I could probably do is like make something. I feel like it should go viral. And there's a video that I want to make. I'm gonna try to make it, and I'm gonna try to make it tomorrow. It's a short, so that's gonna be something that AI is not able to do. Oh, there was actually a video that I recently watched with Casey Neistat. Just dropped today, and he was talking about how AI made this video that he dropped, and he tried to pretty much replicate. He tried his best, like at the whole entire video, to do everything, and he did. He did it shot by shot, line by line, and AI was like, okay. But see, what AI misses is like the heart, the soul of some pieces. And this is where I'm thinking, like, even with like the gathering, the the gathering pieces of like the requirements and stuff, and I can even go into the testing pieces too, is that it's gonna miss out on some nuances there. And the only way you can really automate and do it well is by having someone of a human specimen in between these particular processes. And they have this whole thing called supervised and unsupervised AI. I think AI would need to be supervised at all times. Like AI is just like a little kid, to be honest. It sounds like a little kid, even though a little kid that's like super smart and genius and has all the information in the world and can just spit out the information and right in front of you in a matter of seconds. It's like you still you're still learning. There's some pieces there that you're missing out on, the nuances, and you ain't gonna learn until you take your couple of more steps. Hey, how's it going, Tamara? Nice to see you again. Thank you for coming through. Yeah. So how what do you think about this? Like with AI and automation, like I think automation is what really people need to worry about. With like software jobs or any jobs in general. Automation is gonna, take a lot of people's jobs. There's no doubt about it. And when I was reading this one article in regards to manufacturing, is that during that time when manufacturing jobs were getting outsourced, so there's a sense of automation, right? Automation is like reducing some type of task work. And so what the business did is outsource these manufacturing jobs over to overseas to like different countries, and where the labor is way much cheaper and the shipping and all that stuff will not be as significant a cost as it is like in the US. So that's when a lot of those jobs went overseas. And now you might not see those jobs because, there's no really big incentive of, cheap labor and producing products that they can get overseas and bring it over here and sell for a markup. Significant nice markup and nice profit margins. Essentially, a lot of the business models of a lot of huge name brands out there is like there's not too much stuff that's made in the USA that is making huge bucks. And if they are making huge bucks, then they have really fantastic quality, and they're focusing on one customer base, and they're not really doing anything outside that because they know those customers are always going to be like loyal customers coming back. But yeah, and that's the sense of like me outsourcing is like automation in a sense, and those tasks were reduced. But during that time, a lot of people start pursuing higher degrees and looking for jobs that will, fit the needs of the industry or the way of the society of where it's going. So, if you know that task is getting out, then what other work is out there that can, make you a significant income or a decent amount of income to be able to survive in this, economy. Um, and then this kind of goes into like some pieces too. Is like this is why it's very important to continue to learn because like I said, automation is one of the biggest things that's probably going to take anyone's job, and not too soon with software. I'm just letting you know it's not. I can go into detail and so on about software and how I try to use ChatGPT AI, try to use Copilot to do certain things. It's not it's not going to be there. It's not going to be there for a long time unless, like I said, if if and only if they know how to train these models right. Just give it the right things. Like give it the best practice, the best everything. It's gonna be great. And specific to one particular language and one language only. And you might be talking somewhere. You might be getting somewhere with AI, possibly taking over. But I have to see someone do that, like, or I can do it myself, and that's going to be something. Hopefully, I get a chance in my lifetime because I don't want to have any regrets in regards to things. So I want to be able to try out that one day. So it's definitely an ideal that's burning in my head. It's been an ideal since AI has been coming up in popularity more and more in topics. AI was definitely one of those um, futuristic things in movies for a while, but now it's like, all right, this is reality. Now we somewhere. But a lot of people thought we would be in like Jetson type situations right now from the 1990s. We thought we'd be in flying cars and all these other things by time now of 2023. I mean, we got flying cars, but it's not commercially available, residential available for everyone, and there's regulations in regards to those things too. So airspace and it's like traffic and all this stuff. There's a lot of logistics in regards to it. I know people who do paragliding or like those little wing glide things with the things. Let me see if I can pull it up because that's something I want to do as well in my lifetime. Is be in the country somewhere where I can do a motorized paragliding. All right, let's see. So not the one that you do the parachute, but let me see, show y'all. But this thing right here, like it's like so small. It's a little small little structure. You got a little fan out here. You got a little wheel thing, and you have this piece right here that straps you in. But I want like the one not with the parachute because I think the parachute, yeah, there it is. This one. This is the one that I want to get one day. I want to get one day, either build it or buy it. Well, either one doesn't matter to me. I'm very very interested in buying something. I mean, building something that I could possibly. Oh yeah, nah, you ain't thinking about it. But yeah, I could. I definitely think I could build this. Either buy the parts that assimilate it right and put it all together. But I think I can definitely build this. But yeah, that's something I want to do. I don't even know where I was going with that particular topic, but yeah, um, automation pieces and all the things I was saying. AI. Oh yeah, AI. Where was I going with this? All right. Um. All right. Gotta get my train of thought back. But for the most part, the automation pieces and learning. So, you know, continue to learn, and know what particular things that will make you money, kind of thing. Where I was going with this is that there's certain particular jobs out there that still thriving with the manual tasks and everything. um, Even if certain particular processes are making it much easier to do it, and this is going into like 3D printing and prefab houses and so on. So like it makes it where now a house can be built in a matter of like one day if you already had all the parts to make it and unfold it. It's like literally just a unfoldable piece of paper that you bring out of this truck, and you have a house out of it. I think this is probably going to like maybe Elon Musk stuff where he's living in like some kind of box or something like that. And that house was like built in like 15 minutes, like his house. And so that's when, all right, that's a piece of like, making your tasks much easier, making things much easier. Even the 3D printing piece is like that's automating like how you build the structure of the walls, but then there's still some manual tasks there from human interactions to, put in the drywall, put in the electrical sockets because there's certain nuances that the AI is not going to be able to do right. But it can do some of the grunt work. Framing is definitely one of the grunt works that it can do with the frame 3D printing. But so those are the things, taking into consideration about any career that you go into, like doctors and stuff like that. A lot of people say, "Hey, what's the point of like going to a doctor when I can just talk to Chat GTP?" Once again, this is going back to what is getting fed to. The data that AI is getting fed is not going to be, it's not going to tell you the right, or it's not going to tell you the wrong. It could tell you complete false information because it was given right and wrong information at the same time. No one thought about sifting through the data and telling it, "Hey, let's 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 use only good data." No, scratch all that data. It's gonna infer and figure out its own, and we're gonna have a system where it has a feedback loop and telling what if it's right. But I mean, if someone giving a positive reinforcement and thinking it's doing it right, because they spit it out so confident, it's like, "Oh, thumbs up." But no, that information could be wrong too. And this is going into, that's why I mean this where AI can possibly be helpful in the medical field. But I don't think it can automate the medical field. Like in certain instances, there might be certain instances where they can do a very simple surgery with a robot and know what to do from there. It's possible. It's very much possible. Click a button, it'll do the surgery in a matter of like, I don't know, minutes instead of an hour. It's that's very much possible for one specific procedure only, not for every single procedure that is so far, in the medical field. And yeah, so yeah, so every time oh my gosh, what was the robot thing that Elon Musk said? Hey, this robot is gonna do everything. No one's talking about that now. And let's see, Tesla Tesla robot. So it's called the Optimus Prime or the Tesla bot, also known as the Tesla bot. It's a conceptual, general purpose robotic humanoid under development by Tesla. So this kind of goes into, there was this one YouTuber. His name is Marcus Brownlee, and he's like a tech YouTuber. He does a lot of reviews on technology and stuff. But now, yeah, no, he does a lot of tech reviews, but now he's doing a lot of software stuff from what I've seen, which is pretty interesting. It's like, dang, you got into something I was about to get into more. I was going to talk about it, but I just didn't know the right direction. But godly, I'm I'm still going to do it, but with my own spin to it. Like I did it with the code review for a Copilot. But he talked about with Tesla Bot that specifically in regards to AI, it's like AI does, um AI is not really great at doing great stuff like overall. It's like AI is really good at, doing specific things. And this is where automation is. Automation is specific tasks. There's no doing anything outside of that. But this whole general purpose robot humanoid, this is like further down the line. It's just like, this is um Will Robinson type situation, type of humanoid robot is too far into the future right now. Um, and That's what I see. It's like it's too far in the future. So this Tesla bot, just like with the Roadster, like when's that coming out? Let's see that. And if anyone put down payments for this Tesla bot, I'm just questioning all of your decisions, even if you got money. I question all your decisions. That robot is never going to be available in your lifetime. All right, let's see. What is it? Tesla Roadster. This is just funny kicks out of it. Because so it's crazy how I don't even think this particular this so like just like with the humanoid robot and with the Tesla Roadster, I got to see, did this actually come out? When is it coming out? All right, so it said, while Tesla Roadster was originally announced in 2017 with a planned release date of 2020, that window has come and gone, and at this point, we're expecting the car to be released sometime in 2023. So, why? Why so long? What's going on? You already took 0% interest down payments from everyone for this particular car, and now it's like it's not going to be available in 2023. I'm going to see if this car is going to be available this year. Like that's going to be something that's going to be pretty interesting to see. But just like the Tesla bot, this Tesla Roadster is going to be in the same realms of it's not going to be available for a while. Even though the whole concept behind it is great, it's on sport, electrical, all electric car. Like I would be highly upset if I put down money thinking that I was gonna get it in 2020 or 2021. No, yeah, no. If I was gonna get it in 2020, it was announced in 2017, and now it's still not available in 2023. It's the whole 6 years. Hopefully, people can get their money back on that. I don't know if that's the case. Ain't reserving no Tesla thing. That's actually, oh my gosh, that's actually really, really cheap, to be honest. But I mean, what I don't know if there's any specs on that, but see, they make it look so nice on this website. They make it look so nice. Like this would be probably it's probably up there with like one of my dream cars to have. My dream car one day, like ever come around the money to get it is the Audi R8. It's just a sweet piece of machine, man. Just beautiful. And sticker price on that car, it's not for the faint of heart. But it definitely changed because I remember at one point it was like 200, and so the price climbs to 209 for all-wheel drive models. So yeah, so I mean I definitely would want the all-wheel drive, but I mean the rare the rear traction it will do too. But yeah, all-wheel drive is definitely probably what I would get into. But yeah, it's definitely one of my dream cars to have in the near future. And I will say I officially made it once I get that car. As you can see, the Tesla Roadster is way cheaper than that, and supposedly more power. But do you get the rumble? Do you get the sound, all that beauty of this awesome suspension, the weight, and all that stuff? Like I don't know. I would just take like the RDR8 on track drives only, and just like explore it. But yeah, that's one of the dream cars. Not the Tesla Roadster, but the Audi R8. I don't even know when this car is gonna come. Maybe I come back to it one day, but it's definitely not anytime soon. I don't think it's gonna be this year. It's too much manufacturing issues and pipeline issues and logistical issues that's happening right now. Batteries are more expensive than ever to produce, and I'm not exactly sure. I've been keeping up with like the problem with the battery production because a lot of things are getting built in like for batteries in China and stuff. So you have that, and there's a lot of issues with China and U.S. Relationships right now. So you have that as well. So there's a lot of issues in the whole entire global struggle of power of things, and it doesn't seem like it's getting better. Just you can only do things that you can control. So control yourself, and can't control Elon putting this roaster out in time. So I'd rather build my own car, electric car, and build it faster than he can. I challenge you, Elon Musk. If I can build an electric car in 6 months, can you put out a roaster for one of your customers? That's a challenge. 6 months, I'll build an electrical car. And it's gonna be under 45,000, probably even under 1,000. All right, all right. Let's see. Cool. Other than that, that's pretty much it on my topic. Let me know if you have any questions. What do you think about automation? Like, do you think it's gonna be bigger? It's actually bigger than AI. Like, rebuttal my statement because I mean, even though automation is a subset of AI, it's a very specific subset that deals with taking care of like those specific tasks that human can do, but it could be much more faster and efficient when you automate it. Yo, my phone's like blowing up with notifications. Seeing like everyone dropped their videos like today. They just chose today to drop their videos. Like it's Monday, the new hype to drop your videos. They schedule their videos to drop specifically on Monday because they know people are trying to get out of the thought of this being Monday and they want to distract themselves from being out of this being Monday. Because it's too common. It's too common. Like I've seen a lot of people drop a lot of videos on Monday now that I follow. I didn't even have a rhyme or reason to do office hours on Monday. I just chose it because it's the very beginning of the week and coming off an awesome, relaxing week. I have better things to talk about after, being able to reflect on a couple of things the past week. Trying to get rid of like these thousand notifications I have on my phone. All right, so you know, I said what I wanted to say. What else do you want from me? I said it. There's no more left. Answer your questions, please. Rebuttal my statements. I dare you. What does Puss in Boots say? Um, Fear me if you dare. Yeah, that's oh yo, the Puss in Boots movie, The Last Wish, yo, I really like how they did the animation of that movie. Cause usually like, those Shrek movies and stuff, I don't really like the animation, but the jokes and stuff is pretty funny. Yeah, you can watch it with your kids and they don't really catch on the innuendo type jokes. But yeah. Um yeah, but the Puss in Boots Last Wish one, I like how they make it because when it was like certain action scenes, they had this kind of jittery type of motion to it. So kind of reminds me of the Spider Verse, like the same type of graphics and motion picture that they did with that. And it was really nicely done. Recently seen the Super Mario movie as well with the family. That was really great. And actually, that was like a week ago. Or no, was it this past week? That's a good question. I think it's yeah, it was a week ago. I watched it, but yeah, that was a really great movie. Um, really like the storyline behind that one. Let's see. Ooh, hmm. Yeah, no, that's about it. There's some other movies we plan on watching this summer. It's like this is the summer of movies. I think they purposely try to do these movies during the summer, dropping during the summer, so that the best of their revenues are received during the summer. It was it like was the I think the revenue from let me see box box revenue from Super Mario was crazy. Like it's about to hit $1 million or something. So with $94 million from international showings, Mario's global total now stands at staggering 678 million, surpassing Ant and Wasp Quantum Medium to become the largest film of 2023 in just 2 weeks. That's crazy. So, if they can hit a million off of that, that's crazy. No, not billion, a million, billion. You better hit a billion. So yeah, it's gonna be very interesting to see. Yeah. Other than that, things I'm working on is a short that I have set up to do. Supposedly, we'll see how this works out. We'll see how it works out. Because I don't even know if I gotta check the copyright on the music that I'm planning on using because it's a specific music that I need to use and it's by an artist. Only way I can really check it if I do an unlist version first and see if I get copyright on that. But if I don't get copyright on that, then I'm gonna do a public and then make a list. So yeah, hopefully I don't get like was it the copyright strike? Oh my gosh. When I got a copyright claim, that was that was like scary. I was like, oh, it's not. Oh, but it's not the same thing. So like copyright strike and copyright claim and copyright strike is not the same thing. So copyright strike is when a user, says, you can't use my stuff at all, strike it down, or you're gonna get a strike, or you're gonna remove it. And YouTube makes it where if you get two strikes within like a certain calendar year or something like that, you lose your chance of monetization. And I know I'm pretty close to that because y'all, thank you guys very much for the subscriptions. I don't say that enough, but thank you all for the subscriptions. It's really, really appreciated. And I also like the stream, if you like to hear have these questions, because like I said, these office hours is for y'all. I'm probably gonna name these office hours not specifically to the topics I want to talk about. I'm gonna talk about dev stuff. So the next office hour is gonna be very specific to dev stuff rather than whatever our topic that I want to discuss. Actually, even better, I'm gonna put out a topic I should put out during the week so I can talk about get a vote from y'all to see what topics you will want to hear and discuss. That's even better because I got that community feature. I don't use that community feature enough, and it has this poll feature that allows me to interact with you guys, engage with you guys even better. And I probably use it probably like twice so far, and I definitely underutilizing that for these particular cases where I'm just talking about any random topic in particular. So yeah, I'm gonna find four topics, top four topics I can talk about that's dev related, and set those polls up throughout the weekday. So the next coming office hours, you guys can have a certain topic that you want to hear. And I think that's better and more productive than talking about some random topic that I think should be discussed. That's what my random videos are meant to do. So like the demo video, the other videos out there, but these office hours are mainly for y'all. So that's that's gonna be the goal that I plan on setting. All right. So other than that, I do appreciate y'all coming through. I'm gonna head out. This is gonna be the end of the office hours today. I do appreciate you all, wherever you guys are in the world. Good night, good evening, good afternoon, and so on and so on. I'll talk to you guys later. So, peace out. Actually, before you know, send a message to Tamara. All right, there we go. Message sent. All right, all right. Good night. Have a good one. Peace. Yeah, you gonna hit me with a good night. I've been asking you questions all day. All right, talk to you later. Peace.